to the Dr. Jane Live on a Thursday, where we talk about leading edge breakthrough results at the 365 Healthy by Choice Center in Bryanston, and our wonderful plant-based food state, whole food, raw food, as nature intended range of nutrients. We talk about our chronic disease IV clinic, and the live blood analysis, the acupuncture, and our infrared light therapy. So we've got a holistic situation here, looking at quantum holistic well-being, and everything is natural, unique, and pure. And we also use our holistic ancestral orientation, emotional release process to get rid of the root causes underlying the physical, seemingly root causes, which are generally the symptoms which do lead us to the origin of the cause in the emotions. So that's about our bundle. This evening, I'm going to be talking about activating our stem cells naturally. And of course, this is not anything breakthrough. This is what it is. It's always been. I'm going to give you a bit of an introduction to the main plant-based stem cell activators and where they come from and how they work. And just incidentally, they happen to be the most expensive products that I buy. And I suppose there's a reason for that, but it shouldn't necessarily be, but it is. So, with that, we're going to also have a look at the presentation that I've just made for you, which is going to explain a little bit about stem cells. So just to kick off with, let me show the first slide where I've put together just some illustrations to get our minds working and looking at plant stem cell activators. So from an evolutionary perspective, the earth billions and billions and billions of years ago, the first nutrient to come into physical form was a blue-green algae. So, for example, spirulina was synthesized out of the nitrogen, out of the atmosphere, into algae, blue-green algae, which has got the fungus and the bacteria connected together, phytocyanin. And this algae then grew on the freshwater lakes and released oxygen into the atmosphere, which started oxygenating the earth. And thereafter, the medicinal mushrooms came. And they formed these huge fruiting bodies over the earth, and their hyphae, their roots went in deep into the rock, and they started creating the earth's crust. And there was this gigantic interconnective communication going on between the roots all over the planet. And they were making space for the green plants to then grow, the trees and the plants and the flowers as we know it today. And thereafter, it became inhabitable for aquatic animals, amphibians, mammals, and then humans. So here we are today, not forgetting the insects, and here we are today in this wonderful world, which is billions and billions of years old. And it was really interesting today because yesterday we drilled a borehole, and out came these humongous rocks from deep down, 30 meters, 60 meters, 90 meters down. So there was this beautiful pink granite that came out. Never been touched by human hands before, probably never been walked on either. And so I was the first one to touch these beautiful rocks. So they were about this big. And very interesting to see the layers of soil as well. And very, very inspiring and in a way revering to touch these rocks. I remember putting them on my cheeks and my face and just sensing the DNA that comes from there. And similarly to when you go to the sacred sites and you with the paramagnetic rocks that have lost earth attraction, they have their own electron frequencies, and they will then connect you with out of space cosmic energy. So that kind of thing. Anyway, it was reminding me of the sacred site. So it was a very special moment to see these huge rocks getting dug up. Needless to say, we did hit quite a good fountain of water, so I'm very, very pleased. So we must know that this earth was founded long, long, long ago. And I think in many instances we lose the awe-inspiring aspect of this. We take so much for granted. A cup of coffee. Well, really, the coffee tree and the bean, well, the tree had to have manifested out of morphogenic divisions and in nature. And so all the different species that you have around you would have developed. And they're all here present for us in our form, whether it's we having, let's say, a peanut butter smoothie, a berry smoothie. How did it get you? Almond smoothie. How did it get you? And we consume it without really reconnecting with the raw state, the plant-based, the food state form. So we end up living in this very synthetic, detached world and not remaining connected. So the disconnect is part of why we need to have webinars on how to reactivate our stem cells. So with that sort of introduction and a framework and a consciousness deepening into the origins of us as humans, and never mind the conception of humans. It is out of unconditional love. And, there's that almighty spark light that connects when the sperm and the ovum unite to form a human. I mean, that is unbelievable. And, when you find out you're pregnant, you're normally looking at a pregnancy test kit, and you've lost the whole meaning of evolution, of life, of conception, of what really, really happened. And nobody really stops and gives it a moment. Doesn't even light a candle. So we're just moving at such a pace that we're leaving all of this way behind us and focusing on, whether it's a girl or a boy. Which brings me back to, the drilling of the borehole. Everybody was so fixated before they started about how deep we were going to go. And that was the last thing that was crossing my mind. I left it to the universe, and I got a good diviner, but if and when and where we found the water, it would be there. And as I said, the logical Western mind goes to the logical space. And again, when it comes to conception and IV fertilizations and Caesar births and everything, if you've experienced a natural birth, it's a very auspicious moment. But even a Caesar is an auspicious moment, I'm just saying. And it is what it is. So, as I said, with that in mind, let's move into, adult stem cell activation naturally, plant-based. It's always been here. It's eons of years old. And in fact, that's what formed us, because when the sperm and the egg unite, there's one cell. And from that one cell, you get 2 cells. And from the 2 cells, you get 4 cells. From the 4, you get 8. 8, you get 16. And it's dividing like that. And then a certain section of the cells will become liver cells. A certain section will become heart. A certain section will become kidneys, blood, circulation, skin, nose, face, eyes. So the body's own inner natural computer knows what to do and when to do, and it takes 9 months. So have you noticed, you can't really speed up gestation. It's 9 months. And so we need to also bear that in mind, that for a human to develop, it's going to take that amount of time. I'm just seeing that everybody's happy here. Seems so. All right, perfect. So yes, it's auspicious, it's awe-inspiring, it leads to contemplation, imagination, intuition, and a lot of potential energy comes out of that. And when we do the holistic ancestral orientation, we really do tap into this bigger, vaster space, which has always been there, and it holds all the memories. Some people call it the universal field, the morphogenic field, the Akashic records, the 0 point. But everybody's referring to the same thing. If you, from an Eastern perspective as well, it will be holism. So always been there. These the plant-based stem cell activators have always been there. And if you're thinking properly, eating clean, doing joyful things, being with joyful people, you will go a long way to keeping your stem cells activated. It's when we're highly stressed, eating processed food, highly cooked, heated oils, carbohydrates, too much protein, too much meat, very little green food, very little raw food, that the body starts degenerating. So, hey, and then you start aging quicker than you should. And then we start looking for that bottle that's going to have this magic potion inside it that's going to suddenly activate every electron in your body and cause stem cell activation and cause you to, reform and rejuvenate in an instant. It doesn't quite work like that. But let's talk now about what we do have and what's always been there to produce the adult stem cells. So I'm just going to start the presentation again, and then we can have a look here. So let's go to page 2. And we're looking at stem cell activation, which again, it's not a 1 + 1 = 2. It's not linear. Okay, it's non-linear. And the main product, which is on sale at the moment on the 365 Healthy by Choice January 2025 sale, is our ACTIVA Stem Cell. And I really wanted to spend a lot of time here today because it's here, it's freely available, and you don't have to go to a clinic. You don't have to spend fortunes. Okay, it's how our stem cells activate normally anyway and always did. So these are very, very high frequency foods. If you measure the frequency of foods on what they call a Bovis scale, at the reading 6, you will find green juices and dairy, okay, as high frequency foods at the reading of 6 on the Bovis scale. When you move more towards 8 and 9, you're finding foods like medicinal mushrooms, that's the chaga, the reishi, the cordyceps, the lion's mane, the mayatakis. You will find the coriolis. You will find the algae, the blue-green algae, the chlorella, spirulinas. You will find pollen, royal jelly, propolis. You will find organic sprouts. You will find organic nuts and seeds and fruits. So they're at the highest level, between 8 and 9 measurement on the Bovis scale. You can go and Google all this. So coming around about 13, a frequency of 13 reading on the Bovis scale, you'll get things like the sacred sites. And the frequencies just increase until about 20, a reading of 25, which is the invisible. Just before 25, you will get the ORMUS Gold at about 22, 23, and I've measured this. So just to tell you the frequencies of the 365 Healthy by Choice range, it's based on high frequency foods, high frequency nutrition, life force, very tightly bound electrons close to the neutron and the proton, which indicates highest life force. And these are the nutrients which activate the stem cells. So an ORMUS Gold, for example, will grow the telomeres. It will also unwind the DNA strand and connect with the proteins that are missing because you went through the X-ray machine or you had an MRI or whatever, and allow the DNA strand to wind up again. gives it a second chance, and it grows the stem cells. So that's the ORMUS Gold. That's not on sale, but it's on the 365 Healthy by Choice website. The other major product that goes with the ORMUS Gold is the RNA-DNA, REPLICA RNA DNA. So this particular product is bacterial cell wall fragments in the correct frequencies of the DNA, and holds the proteins uracil, adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. And these are the proteins that form the RNA and the DNA. And the mRNA, the uracil, is with the RNA, and that one gets left, and the DNA has got the 4. So adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. Those are the building blocks for every single protein in the whole body, and they will assist in the stem cell activation. So on the 365 Healthy by Choice range, it's the ORMUS Gold, which is gold, silver, copper, nickel, platinum, palladium, osmium, ruthenium, etc. You don't find them really in the soil anymore, not really in the foods, unless they are in these high frequency foods. So ORMUS Gold is the name, the flagship of 365 Healthy by Choice. The replica RNA are the cell wall fragments that just said to you, it's got all the proteins in it which activate the stem cells. Then we're talking about the ACTIVA stem cells. Let's have a little bit look closer at what I want to show you here. So let's move on this, bearing in mind it's on sale. Now, how do these activate our stem cells? So I've given you a diagram here, which is the bone marrow. So everything in the body must be geared towards the bones and the bone marrow, because that is where the stem cells originate. And there's a whole story, and certain of the cells become cartilage, certain of them will become blood cells and marrow cells. Some of them will become our immunity, which is our, red blood cells, platelets, and the white cells, which is the immunity, the T cells, the B cells, neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils, macrophages, etc., NKF cells, so natural killer cells. So we're getting an immunity formed by the stem cell activation in the bones, as well as the various organs and systems, which were responsible for the formation of us. So this, I think, is a good sort of a consolidation about the bone marrow. And the plant cell activators work on the bone marrow to produce those stem cells. So if you give the building blocks, the body's intelligence will call for example, liver stem cells, because the liver's ailing. So the body's internal innate intelligence, if you like, will call what it needs. And therefore they will be made. Same as if you've got an infection or pain, the immune stem cells will be formed, and they will go straight to the site, along with the beneficial microorganisms from the microbiome reset. That's the other side of immunity. You need the beneficial organisms, microbiome reset probiotic, and you need the white blood cells, the betas, the Ts, the NKFs, those cells. And they will go to the site. So what I'm really saying is that the body's innate intelligence calls for stem cells to be produced so that it can repair, grow, and enable longevity, natural aging. Now, if those starting blocks are not there, it's a bit difficult to form the stem cell. So that's really what happens. The older we get, we don't always top up on all the amino acids and the building blocks for the stem cells. So we're saying, okay, well, most of us who are in the same paradigm, on the same page, want to, eat clean and live the best life we can, clear the emotions as best we can as well, raise our awareness, raise our consciousness, so that we leave the planet on a higher consciousness level and age naturally, as opposed to prematurely, which most people are doing. So in the ACTIVA stem cell, let's see what's in there. So this is out of the 365 Healthy by Choice brochure. Oops. And these are all the research articles which support the products that are formulated as the ACTIVA Stem Cell plant activating plants. And you can see there we've put the blue-green algae, the royal jelly, lion's mane, the medicinal mushrooms, very responsible for brain stem cells. The cordyceps, very responsible for lung stem cells, a whole lot of things. Horseshoe Wu in Chinese is called blackbeard because it returns the color of your the people's beards. The beards go black again, and that's showing longevity and anti-aging. So those are the products. There's the research. You're welcome to ask me for it. And that then arose to my adult stem cell. So what we do is, and this is also, if you want to form vitamin D and also we start working with natural sunlight, photons. And if we consume these powders, they're in capsule form, by the way, and we go and stand in the sun, the photons activate the blue-green algae, the royal jelly, the lion's mane, the cordyceps, and the horseshoe, which are in our blood, and produce stem cells naturally. A plant-activated adult stem cells. What more could anybody want? We need to stand on the earth. We need to stand in the sun. We need to breathe. We need to hydrate. So while you're doing all of that and sipping your lemon water, you can be swallowing a cup of these, or you might have swallowed them already. And then you produce your adult stem cells. That's how it works. I would take the ORMUS Gold with it. I would take a glass of ORMUS Gold. Those of you who know me, we always start with the ORMUS Gold first thing in the morning. I would take the REPLICA RNA and DNA, and I would take the stem cells. You can actually take all of them together. They're such high frequencies. Remember, on the Boba scale, these will be sitting at about 8 or 9 reading, and the ORMUS Gold is sitting at 23,000. So that's what we do. Yes, other things help as well. We've got a bone marrow and joint product that also stimulates and supports the bone marrow. We also look at the organs that support the bone marrow, in particular the kidney, and the instruction from the glands, hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary. So it's not just the bone marrow. We've got to get there via the body's communication network, and that's how we get to our stem cell activation. So very, very, in a nutshell, in a very simple slide here, this is what we're looking at. Very high frequency foods. They're not only stimulating stem cells, they are doing 101 things. They have innate intelligence, and work with the wisdom of the body's ability to heal, and draw off these high-frequency, high-spin electron nutrients. In fact, they're called super nutrients, but they're just super substances, if you think about it. Always been there, always will be there. And that's where you buy it, at the 365healthybychoiceshop.com. So that's what I wanted to share with you specifically, how easy it is actually to produce your own stem cells. You have to do the basics. So I'm going to go through this again. On that Boba scale, raw dairy and green juices are sitting at about 6. At about 8, you've got all the algae, you've got the medicinal mushrooms, you've got all the pollens, propolises, and royal jellies. Okay, very high frequency foods. You've got organically sprouted sprouts, nuts, and seeds, and organic fruit. And those are the highest frequency foods on the planet that we know of. And then we've got the ORMUS Gold sitting at 23,000. So all we have to do is get in the sun, get rooted on the earth as far as I'm concerned, charge that body, and let the photons charge the body and interact with the nutrients that I've just spoken about that are in our cells and in our blood. And adult stem cells will be produced. So when you're looking at prices, we have the 60s on sale right now. And the 60s, I'm just going to get a price. They were $8.99 for 60, 500 milligrams. There's no fillers or binders, pure nutrients, and now $6.99, and that's $37.85 US dollars. And the 120s are not on sale, but they're already on 15% markdown. Would be 1,300. So for that amount of money and 2 capsules a day, you're on your way to great stem cell activation. The ORMUS Gold ranges between $5.90 and $6.90, the different sizes. You're on your way. The REPLICA RNA DNA ranges between $6.90 and $1,150. So, very small amounts. In Rand terms, around about 2,000 Rand for your monthly stem cell activators, which are doing 101 other things as well. So it's really awesome to see you guys here today and to be with you. If there's any questions, put it on the chat, but I'd rather keep it succinct. And I hope I've expanded your awareness and got us thinking deeper and further, just a little bit past this world that we live in and into the greater quantum field, the holistic quantum field, and reach high levels of awareness, consciousness, well-being, and you will feel the interconnectedness within the body, the happiness, and the harmony that this all creates. So one thing at a time, step by step, everybody. And thank you very much. It's been an honor to present to you. And I will I will send the recording to the groups, and it will always be on the YouTube channel, the Dr. Jane Mackenzie YouTube channel, where honestly I must have about 300 educational videos. So all the stories are there. You can search in the search bar and get the info that you need. There are other ways of activating stem cells. So people can take the blood out of you, mix it with stem cells and put it back inside you. There's patches. They also work. There's lots of ways. But this to me is the most practical, common sense, natural, quantum field way of building stem cells. So over to you.